section starts with the verse of Arjuna. Ashochan vasochastam pragyamatam bhasase gatasumsha nano shochanti pandita. Things which are not lamented, you are lamenting. You're considering yourself a pandita, but you are lamenting for uh, the dead or the living, which are not worthy of lamentation for those who are intelligent. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam nime janadipa na chaiva na bhavishyama sarve vayamata param. In the past, we were individual and existing. Present and future also will continue to be. And but the body is keeps on changing, not the soul. Dehinosminyatha dehe kaumaram yamanam jara. Tadha dehantar prapti dhira satran mohiti. And the dhira will not lament for that change of the body. What he will do, he will tolerate. Matra sparshastha konte shitoshna sukadukada agama apayana nityatam tikshasva bharata. And if you tolerate, you will achieve liberation. You will achieve the stage of amrutattvaya kalpate. Yam hina bhatantente purusham purusharshava samadukha sukham bhiram so amrutattvaya kalpate. And then difference between body and soul, the body is perishable and soul is sat, eternal. Na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sata ubhayaropi drishtantas anayok tattvadarshapi. Those are tattvadarshi, they have understood in this way. And then about the soul, which is na bhavo vidyate satah, about that is mentioning that it is avinashi, it never destroyed. Avinashi tu tadvidi yena sarvamidam tatam vinasham avyasasya kachit kartum arhasi. There is no destruction for the soul, not possible. So then what about the body? Body is antamanta ime deha, but the soul nitya sukta sharirinaha anashino aprameyasya. That soul is anitya, anashi, there is no nash, destruction, and aprameyasya, immeasurable. That's why you should fight. So the next verse is mentioning about the self is not the subject or object of the killing. Ye enam vetti hantaram chainam manyate hatam ubhauto na vijanito nayam hanti na hanyate. Neither it is hantaram nor hatam. Neither is killer, not to be killed. So ubhauto na vijanito. If somebody says that it is can be caused kill or it will be killed, oh, it is in a vijani, na vijani, so he is not knowing. Soul is nayam hanti na hanyate. Okay. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूय अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. So here eternality of the soul is again emphasized and summarized in this verse, that soul never dies. Na jayate, there is no birth, mriyate, and death, kadachit. And never it happened in the past, nor it's happening, nor it will happen in the future. Ajoho, it is inborn, nityam, it always exists, shasvat, it is eternal, and purano, it is old but still fresh, new. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. Nahanyate. It cannot be killed. Hanyamane sharire. The sharir, the body can be killed, but body can be destroyed. So this principle is again emphasized and repeated. Veda vinashanam nityam enam achamabhyam katam saprusha partha kam ghatayati hantikam. So no one can kill the soul. Enam ajam avyayam. So that principle explained, but still just for the sake of reducing the reaction of the soul in the next life, Somebody who has that adhikar may give order to kill, but they are not the perpetrator, or they don't get entangled into that action. Mm. And here the supreme authority, Krishna is telling Arjuna to kill. So that's why Arjuna should follow the highest command, because surgical operation is to cure. वासांश जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि तेहि. Arjuna is telling, oh, bodies will die and they will be deprived from the happiness. So Krishna is giving answer that no one lament for change of clothes, new dress. Nobody lament for that. So how will they lose happiness? So this argument Krishna is giving, 22nd. And in the next verse onwards, now again, how the eternal principle of the soul is explained, 23rd verse onward. Today we will read that section. Hare Krishna. Question from yesterday's section.
जी, अभी बॉडी में 6 ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन क्या क्या हो सकते हैं, मतलब आप बताएं.
हाँ,
क्या क्या होते हैं, मतलब
क्या होते हैं 6 transformation of the body? Somebody can birth, growth, maintenance phase, then okay, that dwindling. Before that, byproducts, and then dwindling of the body, that is old age, dwindling, and death. Okay, these are the 6 changes. The soul is all pervading in the sense, in the form of consciousness. Not that it take the shape of the body. ऐसे नहीं कि वो शरीर का आकार ग्रहण करता है, जितना बॉडी है उतना ही सोल है, ऐसा नहीं. व्याप्त, उस दृष्टि से व्याप्त नहीं. In terms of consciousness is all pervading. तो उस दिशा में वो बोला है. या येन सर्वम इदम ततम अविनाशी तु तद्विति येन सर्वम idam tatam. His consciousness is all pervading. And in other sense, yena sarvam idam tatam is all pervading in the universe as a soul. That means individual souls, different souls. They take different bodies as per their karma. So souls are everywhere in that sense. Sarvagata. 23rd. So here, in the previous verse, after mentioning that why to lament for the change of the dress? Rejoice, O Arjuna, because you are going to get new body. Or this, all the various, they are going to receive a new body. Why to lament for that? And then he focuses on the eternal principle of the soul. Soul cannot be destroyed. Soul cannot be destroyed. Only the dress is destroyed. Dress get torn apart, but the soul cannot be destroyed. Nobody can destroy that imperishables. That's why it is called imperishable. That nature of soul being imperishable, that is explain in the next verse. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chaidam kledayantyapa, na shosheti. Marutaha. Translation.
The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind.
So here, the Krishna is mentioning that, oh, Arjuna, none of your weapons can kill the soul. Your sword cannot kill the soul. Your Agneya Astra cannot kill the soul. Your Vayu Astra cannot kill the soul. Your Varuna Astra cannot kill the soul. These are all different astras used in the battlefield. So that's what he is mentioning, not just fire, he's mentioning fire weapon. The way Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur he translated, the fire weapon does not burn. The water weapon does not wet it. And the wind weapon does not dry it. And the sword does not kill it, cut it to pieces. So, Nainam Chindanti. So, this is the way all the weapons used in the even battlefield cannot. And Prabhupada explained about the glory of these subtle weapons. And nowadays only fire weapons are there. Those Varuna weapon can counteract the fire weapon. Those weapons are not existing. Okay. Vayu weapon and all. Etc. Baldev.
But just as the house dweller is destroyed when the house is burned, when the body is destroyed by the blow of weapons, the soul should also be destroyed. Swords cannot cut it. The fire weapon cannot burn it.
So see, he's mentioning just as the house dwellers is destroyed when the house is on the fire. Similarly, soul is there, no, in the body. If the body is put on the fire, will the soul burn? So that analogy he's using. Okay, just like house dweller also burns in the fire. Maybe probably the soul will also should burn, but no. The sword cannot cut, the fire vapor cannot burn, rain weapon cannot wet, wine weapon cannot dry. Accordingly, the Atma is not disturbed by.
Accordingly, the Atma is not disturbed at all by being exposed to all these weapons, all these types of weapons. The Mayavadi cannot.
The Mayavadi cannot explain how the individual soul came into existence simply by ignorance and consequently became covered by the illusory energy.
Nor was it ever possible to cut the individual souls from the original Supreme Soul. Rather, the individual souls eternally.
See here that the individual souls, they are cut from the original Supreme Soul. It's not that we are part and parcel of Krishna. That means we are cut from the body of Krishna as a part and parcel. If the hand is part and parcel of Krishna, that does not mean that the soul is also part and parcel, which is cut from the body of Krishna or the Brahman, whatever, Supreme Soul. No. Rather, the individual souls are eternally Shaswat, separated individual, part of Supreme Lord. That separated does not mean Baddha. Separated does not mean that means we got separated from Vaikuntha eternally. Eternally, we are away from Vaikuntha. Means Shaswat Rupe, we are always in the material world. And now, first time we are going to enter into the spiritual world. That's not the meaning. And Prabhupada will explain in the further. Because they are atomic individual soul eternally Sanatana.
they are prone to be covered by the illusory energy. And
हाँ,
thus, they become separated from the association of the Supreme Lord, just as the sparks of a fire, although one in quality with the fire, are prone to be extinguished when out of the fire.
so that spark was always part of the fire. By nature, it should be part of fire. But when it gets separated, it will extinguish. It comes under ignorance. Yeah, next.
In the Varaha Purana, the living entities are described as separated parts and parcels of the Supreme.
Yeah.
They are eternally so, according to the Bhagavad Gita also.
Also, what is that? It described as separated part and parcel of Supreme. That separated part and parcel, all are separated, all are individual, and they are not the part of the Lord, neither they will merge into the Lord after liberation. They will not become one with the Lord, eternally separated.
So, even after being liberated from illusion, the living entity remains a separate identity, as is evident from the teachings of the Lord to Arjuna.
Yes, see here it is clear. Even after liberation from the illusion, the living entity remains a separate identity. That means we are a separated part and parcel even in spiritual world. See here it is very clear. We are the living entity remains a separate identity. Means what? Separate part and parcel. But as that evident from the teaching of Lord to Arjuna.
Arjuna became liberated by the knowledge received from Krishna, but he never became one with Krishna.
Neither any living entity can become one with Krishna after liberation, once they achieve liberation. Yes. So this was the philosophy here in this particular verse, 24th verse. So अच्छेद्योऽयम् अदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्योऽशोष्यमेव च नित्यसर्वगतस्तानुरचलोऽयं सनातनः. See here, okay, first you read the translation.
This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same.
And Sanatana. See, it looks like both the verses are same. First it was mentioned नैनम छिंदंती, and here it mentioned अच्छेद्य, यानी उसका दो भाग नहीं कर सकते. वहां पे बोला है नैनम छिंदंती, उसको काट नहीं सकते. So the previous verse was very specific presentation of this philosophy. Specific presentation कि भाई उसका छेद नहीं सकते, जला नहीं सकते. And this verse is generic presentation. General propositions are given. General proposition means what? Adayyoyam, ayam, achedyoyam, adayyoyam, akledyo, ashosham evacha. So this is a generic principle, and its specific propositions or presentation is this previous verse. Very specific it is mentioned. And general principle कि भाई ये अच्छेद्योयम है, अदाह्योयम है. जो अच्छेद्य यानी उसका भाग नहीं कर सकते, यानी उसको तलवार से काटा नहीं जा सकता. वेरी स्पेसिफिक. हाँ, जनरल बोलते हैं ना कि ये जो व्यक्ति है he is व्हाट यू से, ज्यादा खाने वाला, बहुत ज्यादा खाता है, ही इज ओवर ईटर। यानी स्पेसिफिक यानी क्या, इसने 8 चपाती खाया। ग्लटन, ग्लटन यानी मोटा। हाँ, ग्लटन इज ऑल्सो the voracious eater. Glutton, yes, voracious eater. And it's very specific. He ate 10 chapati, very specific. तो यहाँ पर अच्छेद्यो, it's the specific presentation, नैनम छिन्दान्ति शस्त्राणि। अदाह्यो नैनम दहति पावकः, अक्लेद्यो न चैनम क्लेदयन्ति आपो, an ashosha न शोषयति मारुतः, by maruta, by air, specific उदाहरण, examples. Okay, the same basically. So achedya means indivisible. Chedya, that means dvaidhikarane, not possible. To divide into the 2 pieces, not possible. Ayam means this. Adahya, not to be burnt. That means bhasmikarane, not possible. Akledya, not to be moistened. That means आर्द्रीकरण और आर्द्री भावे, आर्द्रीकरण बोलते हैं उसको, उसको भिगोना, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल, उसको गीला नहीं कर सकते आत्मा को। अशोष्य, अशोष्य मीन्स शोषणे, शोषणे, दैट मीन्स ड्राइंग अप, so you cannot dry it. एवच नित्यः, it is permanent. नित्य means permanent. Sarvagata, again it is comes. Sarvagata, it is everywhere, all pervading, omnipresent. Soul is also omnipresent, everywhere. Sarvagata. Sthano. Now here Prabhupada translates sthano as what to what? Unchangeable. That means what? It is static. That means it is unchangeable, it is fixed. Static means it is fixed. और it is also stationary, उसको भी बोलते हैं स्थानो. It is stationary. It is there in the body. It is stationary. और sthano, a more explanation will come. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur will speak about that sthano. That means basically it is having a fixed form. It is not changing its form. That is also. That means it is having a fixed swarupa. You know, the soul swarupa never changes. That is also sthano. It is stable, fixed है. ऐसा नहीं कि मोटा होता है सोल, बीमार गिरता है तो पतला होता है सोल, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. वो मेंटेन्स इट्स शेप, इट्स स्थानम, अपने स्थान से इधर उधर नहीं होता, यानी शेप चेंज नहीं होता, स्वरूप है उसका एक. स्थानो आणि अचलयम, दैट मीन्स अनमूविंग. चलम, चल आणि अचल. चलन मीन्स कंपना, कंपनम, कंपने, जिसको चलम बोलते हैं, तो उसका कंपन नहीं होता. सोल का, आत्मा का कंपन नहीं पाता, उसको कोई कंपन नहीं कर सकता, उसको हिला नहीं सकता. चलो इसका आत्मा को हृदय में ना उसको हिला के, अभी हृदय को ऑपरेशन करना है तो थोड़ा आत्मा को हिला के उसको लीवर में रख देते हैं. उसको हिला नहीं सकता कोई ऐसे. या उधर जा थोड़ा, हम इधर थोड़ा उसका हिलाते हैं, कोई वस्तु इधर गिराता है, भूल गिरा, सोल को वैसा नहीं कर सकते. यू कैन नॉट मूव द सोल इन दैट वे. नहीं, वो वायु में है ना, इट इज फ्लोटिंग इन द प्राणवायु. नो, तो प्राणवायु को करके थोड़ा हिलाता हूँ, यू नो, इट कैन नॉट बी. यू कैन नॉट डू दैट. न शोषयति मारुतः. Maruta has not any, no any effect on that soul. So specific, basically. This Krishna is giving very specific and generic both understanding about the soul. And one word is repeated basically. Nityaha, permanent. And also Sanatana, that is also eternal. Same is repeated. Nitya also and Sanatana. And Nitya was repeated. Ajo Nityam Shaswatayam Purano. There also Nitya comes. Why repetition is there? That is also Acharya. Let us.
Not being affected by any of these weapons, the Atma is thus called respectively by the appropriate names: uncleavable, unburnable,
Uncleavable. Cleavable means छन्ने से उसका टुकड़े टुकड़े करना. Cleavable. उसको टुकड़े टुकड़े नहीं कर सकते.
unburnable,
Burnable. Burn नहीं कर सकते.
insoluble,
insoluble यानी उसको मिक्स वो पिघला नहीं सकते. पानी में ये करते हैं ना, soluble रहता है. Unsoluble.
and indecisible.
हाँ, decisible. So you know decisible material. Decisible devices are the drying up machines are the desiccator. They call desiccator. The dry जब आप जब एयरपोर्ट में जाते हो तो आप हाथ जाते हो तो स्टार्ट हो जाता है. ड्राइव करते हैं desiccator. So there are many items which kept in decisible format. And washing machine is also they also dry. And many machines are there. They dry the anna, the food, and keep in durable form. Later on, you can just add water and eat. And decisible foods are there which last for long. Decisible, for decisible, that comes in that regard. Decisible. So desiccate, drying up. Desiccated coconut grating grated coconuts, no, usko bhi you can desiccate and keep in again reuse by just adding little water. So desiccate. So okay. So it is uncleavable, unburnable, insoluble, undesicable, decisible.
The word eva indeed applies to all items in this list. The Atma certainly cannot be cut, burned, moistened, or dried. The Atma is called all-pervading, sarvagataha, because it accepts all types of bodies, such as that of man, devata, bird, and beast, one after the other, according to karma. Atma also possesses a fixed form.
Here you see, very specific. Sthano, not just stable, एक जगह पे रहता है. नहीं, एक जगह पे कोई रहता तो मोटा भी बनता है. नहीं, वो अपना शेप भी नहीं चेंज करता. स्थानो यानी फिक्स फॉर्म है उसका. एंड फिक्स qualities. That means achala. Achala means what? Fixed qualities. It is mentioned. Not flickering, not shivering, not just not shivering, a kampana pavana, moving or shaking. So in that way, or disturbed form. But it is said fixed qualities. In that sense also, Atma's quality never changes. Sachidananda hai to Sachidananda hai. Achala. Shruti says.
The Shruti says, Avinashi va areyam atmanuchiti dharma. This Atma is indestructible with eternal qualities. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad.
Same thing.
Sanatanaha is the Gita verse. In the Gita verse means eternal. The reason for this fault of repetition or redundancy of words, the word Nitya has already been mentioned in the verse, will be explained in the next verse.
Next verse again, we will see. Baldev Vidyabhushan will explain. Okay, Prabhupada.
The theory of monism is very difficult to apply in this case because the individual soul is never expected to become one homogeneously.
हाँ.
After liberation from material contamination,
So individual souls never become homogeneous mixture with other soul or super soul. It maintains its individual identity. In case of the monism, it merges. The soul merges with the Brahman. But here, it defeats the theory of monism, and no. After liberation,
from material contamination, the atomic soul may prepare to remain as a spiritual spark in the effulgent rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the intelligent souls enter into the spiritual planets to associate with the personality of Godhead.
Okay. So, Brahman Mukti and Vaikuntha Mukti. More intelligent person will go and associate with the Lord in Vaikuntha. But they don't become homogeneous neither with the Brahman nor with the Lord. They maintain their individuality. Next.
The word Sarvagata, all pervading, is significant because there is no doubt that living entities are all over God's creation.
Yeah, all pervading. And there is no doubt living entities are all over God's creation. Okay. All 14 planets, everywhere the living entities do exist. Even in sun planet, living entity exists. Next. In the moon also. Moon is also planet. Moon means one of the Swargaloka. Okay, one of the heavenly planet, Moon, and there they drink the Somrasa. Okay. Who knows where we landed? Where we landed, we don't know. The Prabhupada mentioned there is a Van Allen belt. In between, on the way to the moon, there is a, scientists, they also they accept Van Allen belt. That is terminology scientists give. What is Van Allen belt? It is none of the satellite can cross it because none of the man-made metal can sustain in Van Allen belt. There is no any matter or creation in the human history which can sustain in those high radiations. How can a satellite can pass through that to go to moon? So if we ask any average American, even today, can man go to the moon? 80% of the American, they refute this philosophy. Not possible, they say. Not Indians, I'm not telling ISKCON people or Prabhupada's followers. Americans, gross materialists, those who have intelligence, they deny moon landing. Although America claimed that they were the first to land on the moon, but Americans themselves don't accept this as a fact. All intellectuals of the university professors, they don't teach this philosophy in their university. Only Indians we learn. And we where they landed, God knows. Prabhupada also denied. They cannot reach to the moon because to reach to the moon, you need a demigod body, and that you can achieve after death if you are qualified and having karma to go there. Because matter cannot go. So this matter cannot go. With this body, you cannot enter. That body is different. Those elements are different, body element which sustains there. And you cannot go by in machines. So this is what Prabhupada's propositions everywhere, wherever he speaks about moon landing. As per the Shastra, it's not possible. As per the Shastra, it's not possible. And these Americans, they don't know Shastra, they don't believe on, but 80% they deny. Even today also, you take survey. Huh? And they don't want to teach only in the university, moon landing and all. Huh? Hare Krishna. So those 75, 80% people say, man never went to moon. They say. Desert here, somewhere. Somewhere here in desert. Hare Krishna. Huh. Continue, Prabhu. After liberation, done, no?
Yes.
And the word Sarvagata is also over. They live on the land, water, air, earth, and even fire. They believe that the sterilize in fire is not acceptable.
Because it is clearly stated here that the soul cannot be burned by fire.
Yeah, they cannot be sterilized, they cannot be burned. And there is no doubt that there are living entities in sun planet. But they have suitable body. Fiery body is there. Fire element is prominent. अर्थ वाला उधर बर्न हो जाएगा. अपना अर्थ जो मॉडल है इधर का, दिस प्लैनेट्स मॉडल अर्थ एलिमेंट इज प्रोमिनेंट इन द बॉडी, वो बर्न हो जाएगा उधर सन में. And then you will say, no, nobody can sustain in sun. Then one of the scientists only will find, oh, there are bacteria in fire bacteria they call. Oh, it's possible. Living entity can sustain in fire also. Because they have fiery body, they can sustain. Fire element is prominent. So there are living entities on the sun also. Why not moon? If you go somewhere and you landed in a desert and you conclude that whole land of earth is deserted, or they landed up in Pacific Ocean. Earth means water everywhere. Your conclusion. And you bring some pieces of rocks from there and you keep it in some museum. And that also Prabhupada deny. Bringing rocks from the moon. Okay, Prabhu.
If the sun globe is uninhabited, then the word Sarvagata, living everywhere, becomes meaningless.
Yeah. So if scientists, if you tell that there are living entities on sun, they deny. No, nobody can sustain there because constant fusion going on there. Confusion about the whole creation.
Because
they are the sustaining principles. But they sustain if you keep a safe distance. This is what proposition there. Safe distance, everything can sustain. You go little closer, you are heated. You go a little further, you are melted. Even within this planet, little it goes away from the sun. One part of the earth is away from the sun. Little, it's frozen. Other part is in front, closer to the sun, there is heat, more heat. Within this planet, so much differences because of the tropical situations. The sun globe is uninhabited. Then the words are no meaning. Okay. Okay, nice. Hari Bol. Next, 25 shloka. अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयम उच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि.
It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body.
Yeah. So 3 words are used here. Avyakta. Avyakta means unmanifested. Avyakta. Avyakto ayam. It is avyaktoyam. That means it is not manifested. Means what? Why? Because it is transcendental. That means you cannot even say that it is 10,000 of the tip of the hair. Because you cannot do vyakta in shape and size of the soul. That's why yesterday the Nyayic people or the Vaishashika people, they say the soul is 1/10,000 of the tip of the hair. It is their argument. But here Krishna said, avyakta, you cannot do even vyakta. You cannot even, it is unmanifested. Unmanifested, that doesn't exist. अनमैनिफेस्ट हो गया, हम बोलते हैं ना अनमैनिफेस्टेड यानी गया, गुप्त, गायब हो गया. नहीं, गायब नहीं, वो है वहां पर. But it is transcendental in nature. You cannot describe it in terms of matter by taking reference of the matter, because nowadays there are so many advanced microscopic devices. You can see 1/10,000 tip of the hair. Yeah, that much science lens, the advanced lenses they have, they can see. Electronic microscopes, they can see also. But that's why even that proposition is not accepted by Krishna. He's a avyaktoyam. वो भी नहीं, अव्यक्त है वो. It is very small does not mean that it is 1/10 of it. No, avyakta, it is transcendental. Avyakto, achintya, inconceivable. That means you cannot, it can not to be thought about. वो ऐसा होगा वैसा होगा, कुछ नहीं. You cannot speculate about. Inconceivable, you cannot conceive soul. And avikaryoyam, उसमें विकार नहीं ला सकते. You cannot transform it. Oh, his soul is acidic soul, his alkaline soul. So alkaline soul can be made acidic soul. Acidic soul can be made. You cannot, विकार नहीं डाल सकते उसमें. दूध में विकार डाल सकते हैं, दिन इसका दही बन जाता है. सोल में कुछ विकार नहीं डाल सकते उसको. सोल में फंगस नहीं लगता. फंगस नहीं लगता क्योंकि वो वेट नहीं होता, तो फंगस कैसे लगेगा. नहीं, कुछ काम नहीं करता, ऐसे बैठा है, खोला भी नहीं, ढका रहा और उसको फंगस लग गया, बीमार हो गया कुछ तो. हाँ, नो, अविकार्य. It is immutable. Basically, immutable means no transformation in the soul. You cannot do any modification in the soul. जैसे कि मैं बोल रहा था, यहाँ पे है थोड़ा बाजू, थोड़ा रख देते हैं सोल को. ऐसे भी नहीं. immutable, it is immutable. No modification in the soul in the terms of his shape, size. Avikaryoyam. Immutable means you cannot even agitate the soul. Body will get agitated, your mind will get agitated. If somebody touch your ahankara will get agitated. Corona will not go to soul and contaminate and give disease to the soul. Virus will not attack on the soul. Means none of the virus can attack the soul, because they cannot see. Even virus, the minutest virus also cannot see the soul. Where is soul? Nobody can see the soul. Just like that virus cannot see his own soul, cannot see our soul also, and cannot attack. If soul is holy in soul, then the strategic position is to attack on soul. But you cannot see soul, you cannot search out the soul. How can we attack the soul? You cannot, that's why it is, you cannot do transformation, no modification, mutations, agitation, it cannot be disease. That is vikarya, avikaryoyam. Ayam uchate tasmad evam viditva yenam na anushocitum arhasi. Knowing this viditva, you should not lament. After knowing all these things about this soul, you should not lament. This is proposition, argument from Krishna's side. Okay, till now all arguments are transcendental argument from Shastric viewpoint of view. All arguments are given by Krishna. Now, henceforth, from the next sloka onward, 26 onward, Krishna will give atheistic argument, not Shastra point of view, but worldly point of view. That kind of argument he gives. जो भी वेपन चलेगा ना, वो लगाओ अभी अर्जुन को कन्विंस करने के लिए. Shastra point of view, highest he has given. Now he will also try to convince from the loka worldly point of view. Different philosophy he will use. He will use atheistic Charvaka philosophy. He will use Buddhist philosophy. He will use Shunyavada. He will also try Karmavad. That means Nyaik philosophy, Gautama philosophy. All this philosophy he will try now to convince Arjuna one by one. Very philosophical discussion. Okay. Now 26. ये हुआ क्या? नहीं हुआ? Look through. हाँ, भगवान को पॉसिबल है, बिकॉज वो आत्मा है, परमात्मा है और वो आत्मा है. भगवान को पॉसिबल है, भगवान को पॉसिबल. जस्ट लाइक टू बर्ड्स इन ए सेम ट्री. दो पंछी है एक ही पेड़ पर है. अभी क्या आत्मा भगवान को देख सकता है? क्या देख सकता है, मगर कंडीशन स्टेज में नहीं. Because he is busy in eating the fruit. Unless and until his get purified and he get that vision to see, and that vision is avoided to him, Atma also cannot see the Paramatma. But Paramatma all the time can see Atma. Upadrushta Anumanta cha Bharta Bhokta Maheshwara. He is not just seeing Atma, Paramatma sees everything. All Atmas and all Atmas, all bodies. Paramatma can. So he is present everywhere, not just with Atma, but each and every atom and in between atom. Paramatma is present, is all pervading in that way. Paramatma. But in terms of keeping the accounts, he is active with Atma. A functioning of Anumanta, not with the matter. Overseer. Okay. हाँ, बराबर. Because अविपक्वकषायानां दुर्दोषो कुयोगिनां. Shayanam and Durdarsho Kuyoginam. Now you are not qualified because you are not pure enough. Your heart. Kashayanam. There are impurity in your heart. And second, Durdarsho Kuyoginam. You are imperfect in your seva. So eventually when you will get qualified, you can see me. Now I just gave you Durdarshanam. a glimpse of the darshana I give just to increase your hankering for me. Atma or the what is that? His seeing means what? Now just like Dhruva saw the Lord Vishnu, he saw through his eyes, gross eyes, I'm telling. Because that vision was given to him. That vision was given to him to see the Lord by Lord's mercy. Arjuna could see Arjuna, the universal form, because that others, they were simply probably only hearing the sound, because that vision, everybody didn't have that vision to see the universal form of the Lord. Very few they could see on the battlefield, it is mentioned. So why? Because Divya Chakshu is given to only few, those are qualified to see the Lord. Huh? Hare Krishna. Now,
The Atma is not perceptible by the material senses. It is beyond logic, being understood only through scriptures.
Achintya.
By the scriptures, the Atma is understood to be Jnana Swarupa, knowledge itself, and a knower of things. It is not subject to the six changes. Avikarya. The Lord in teaching.
See here, avikari means no six changes, no transformations.
The Lord in teaching the nature of the Atma with such statements as Avinashi tu tadvidhi had used repetition of words with similar meaning in order that the Atma, which is difficult to understand, can be easily
So
understood.
why redundancy is there? Why the repetition is there? In order that the Atma, which is very difficult to understand, can be easily understood. As we are also discussing now, again and again we are discussing. You may be feeling, Prabhuji probably repeating the same point again and again. Prabhupada also purport, their repetition, it seems. But why that repetition is important? Because it's very difficult to understand. Why is Shastra is repeating the word? Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kelam. Kalo, Nasteva, 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 Gatra. Because Kali, in Kali Yuga, it's needed. Repetition, repetition, repetition. You emphasis on that, which is because it's very difficult to understand. Can be easily understood if we repeat. The repetition. Every day we are coming and I'm repeating. 11th was, this is what took. 12th was this. Repetition, repetition. Kali Yuga, no solution than repetition. Then only it sinks. थोड़ा तो अंदर जाता है फिर. Okay. Thus,
this is not a fault. Or the repeated words can be explained as useful for ascertaining the real nature of the Atma.
Therefore,
the Atma is described in this way, taking the descriptions of the previous words. It can't be cut, burned, dried, or moistened.
Now this is another point. Now, Chakravarti Thakur, sir.
The repetition of the words signifying the eternal nature of the soul in this section, such as the use of the words Nitya and Sanatana in this verse, and statements of previous verses, is for the purpose of precisely defining the soul for those confused intellect, just as one will repeat several times in order to make certain that everyone understands. This is the dharma of Kali Yuga. This is the dharma of Kali Yuga.
So, see, as it was mentioned that, okay, next chapter it will be told. Baladev is telling, he is also mentioned, Baladev also mentioned the reason. And especially Chakravarti Thakur also taking the word Nitya and Sanatana, especially he is telling, purpose of precisely defining the soul for those of confused intellect. पहले कंफ्यूज हो गए, नहीं बाबा ये ऐसा है, नहीं 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 डाउट आ जाता है, फिर नहीं नहीं ये ऐसे ही है, नहीं सोल थोड़ा ये रहेगा ना, नहीं वो ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा ही है. confuse intellect. Just as one will repeat several times in order to make certain that everyone understands. Everybody should understand. The expert teacher means who does repeat the things, the concept. This is the dharma of Kali Yuga. This is the dharma of Kali Yuga. Same. Kali Yuga dharma. What? Harir Naam. Harir Naam eva kevalo. Kalo nastev. Kalo nastev. Kalo nastev. Kalo 4 times. Gatiranyatha. No, there is no any other way. No any other.
Sarvagataha, gone everywhere, means that the soul goes into all sorts of bodies such as human, animal and deva by its karma. Note, the other meaning is pervading everywhere, but this meaning is not taken since the subject is the jiva, who pervades only his own body.
Okay. And sthano?
Sthano and achala have the same meaning, having stability. Note, Baladeva explains sthano as having a stable swarupa, and the repetition makes the meaning clear.
Okay. So sthano means stable swarupa, having a stable swarupa. It never changes its rupa. Because
it is very fine, it is called avyakta.
Very fine means unmanifest almost. See, but there is he's there present. So it's transcendental. Because
it pervades the body with consciousness, it is called achintya, beyond conception.
And
being divided of the 6 changes such as birth, it is called avikarya.
Avikarya. Again, same. Prabhupada.
But as far as the soul's existence is concerned, no one can establish his existence experimentally beyond the proof of Shruti or Vedic wisdom. We have to accept this truth because there is no other source of understanding the existence of the soul, although it is a fact by. There are many things we have to accept solely on grounds of superior authority. No one can deny the existence of his father based upon the authority of his mother. There is no source of understanding the identity of the father except by the authority of the mother. Similarly, there is no source of understanding the soul except by studying the Vedas.
Yes. Vedavak. Because Veda says this, we have to accept. Similarly, knowledge of the soul. How will you understand soul? From Shastra. There is no any means because it's avyaktoyam, achintyoyam. Achintyoyam, avikaryoyam. Avyaktoyam, achintyoyam, avikaryoyam. Then how will you understand that soul? Only way is to understand soul is through Shastra, Veda. What analogy is given? Ram Reddy Bhau. एनोलॉजी क्या दिया है? उदाहरण यहां पर उदाहरण क्या दिया है? एनोलॉजी किस तरह से? हाउ विल यू गेट टू नो दैट आपके पिताजी कौन है? किससे पता चलेगा? माँ को पूछने से। वैसे ही आत्मा के बारे में और परमात्मा के बारे में जो भी नॉलेज लेना है, ज्ञान लेना है, किसको पूछना है? वेदास को, शास्त्र। ओके ना, अभी हो गया शास्त्रिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, ऑल डिस्कशन हैपेंड टिल नाउ. नाउ कृष्णा विल एक्सप्लेन फ्रॉम वर्ल्डली पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. अथ चैनम नित्यजातम नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि. If however you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reasons to lament, O mighty armed. Let us try to understand what is shloka is all about. अथ चैनम नित्यजातम मन्यसे. Now if you think that it is always being born, and nityam mritam va, या always dying. तथापि हे महाबाहो त्वम एवं शोचितुम न अर्हसि. You should not lament for it. Now, what is the meaning of this shloka? So here it is mentioned about absolute voidist philosophy and absolute sense gratification philosophy. What it says, जो इंद्रिय तृप्ति वाले क्या बोलते हैं, मरने के बाद किसने देखा है ना, आर्गुमेंट रहता है ना, वही आर्गुमेंट दे रहे हैं ना, मरने के बाद किसने देखा है, व्हाई यू आर लैमेंटिंग दैट. हाँ, मरने के बाद कितने देखा है, चारवाक फिलोसॉफी, एब्सोल्यूट सेंस philosophy. And absolute void is also, at the time of death everything is void. Why you are lamenting? सब तो जुरो होने वाला है. तो जो भी काम करेगा, कृष्णा ऑल फिलोसफी इज यूजिंग टू कन्विंस अर्जुना. बुद्धिस्ट उनका क्या है, वाइडिस्ट फिलोसॉफी है. एंड एथिस्टिक चारवाक फिलोसॉफी जो है, जो डेथ रहता है, जस्ट लॉस ऑफ केमिकल्स. एक बार मर गया तो मर गया है, किसने देखा है पुनर्जन्म है, जब तक जिंदा हो मजे करो. चारवाक का फिलोसॉफी है. ऐसा नहीं कि ही इज फुलिश पर्सन, ही इज अ वेरी इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन, वन ऑफ द मोस्ट ग्रेटेस्ट अथॉरिटी दैट टाइम on philosophy, and he was most expert in a Sanskrit language and Shastric study. And what was his philosophy? He is very sophisticated philosophy. He is not a funny man. Joker nahi tha wo, Charvak philosophy. We only one know his one shloka, ऋणम कृत्वा घृतम पीबेत यावत् जीवेत सुखम जीवेत भस्मे भूतस्य देहस्य कुतः पुनरागमनम आगमन भवेत्. चारवाक फिलोसॉफी क्या क्या बोला है, ऋणम कृत्वा घृतम पीबेत, चाहे कितना भी लोन ले लो प्रॉब्लम नहीं, मगर घी पी लो. ऋणम कृत्वा, ऋण लेके, घृतम पीबेत, दैट मीन्स उस जमाने में घी पीना इज अ साइन ऑफ सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन. अभी क्या, मजे करो, दारू पी लो, मांस खा लो, दैट इज वेरी लोली. उसमें क्या है, घृतम पीबेत, शुद्ध गाय का घी पी लो, कितना भी महंगा क्यों ना हो, मगर शुद्ध गाय का घी पी लो. ऋणम कृत्वा घृतम पीबेत यावत् जीवे सुखम जीवेत, जब तक जिंदा होना तब तक सुखी सुखी जियो, मजे करो, अच्छा तरह से खाओ पियो, स्वस्थ रहो. भस्मी भूतस्य देहस्य, एक बार मर गए, चिता में डाल दिया, राख हो गया, कुतः पुनरागमन बने, क्या किसको मालूम है पुनरागमन होगा कि नहीं, अगला जन्म है कि नहीं, देखा नहीं है. अच्छा कर्म बुरा कर्म से अपना ये देह मिलेगा, किसने देखा है. जब तक हो मजे करो बस. और सबको अच्छा लगा ये फिलोसफी, उस समय सब उसके फॉलोअर बन गए. फिलोसफी बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत प्रैक्टिकल है, बहुत प्रैक्टिकल है. चारवाक फिलोसफी. तो today that Charvak philosophy and today's scientific philosophy not much different. They also say who has seen the next life, who has seen the next life. Death means just what, chemical loss. Chemical loss. Death means some chemical is lost. That's the way. Same thing. Charvak philosophy in there. Buddhist philosophy, they are Vaibhasikas philosophy, Buddhist philosophy. Buddhist philosophy क्या है, body and soul they are different. चारवाक का क्या है, चारवाक का फिलोसॉफी क्या है, body is made up of the four element, earth water fire. एयर, अर्थ, वाटर, फायर, एयर, इनसे बॉडी बना हुआ है। इथर देखा है क्या? तो फिर जो भी देखा नहीं, ही डोंट बिलीव। अर्थ, वाटर, फायर, एयर, चार से दिख रहा है ना? हाँ, इससे बॉडी बना हुआ है, यानी वही उसको शास्त्र में आत्मा बोला है। बस वही सब कुछ है। जैसे आप पान ले लो, उसमें चूना डालो, उसको सुपारी डालो और मुंह में डालो, तो वो लाल बन जाता है। कॉम्बिनेशन उसका लाल हो जाता है। वैसे ही अर्थ, वाटर, फायर, एयर मिक्स जैसा हो जाता है, कॉन्शियसनेस बनता है। उसको कॉन्शियसनेस बोलते हैं। क्या चेतना डिफाइन? वो जो अर्थ, वाटर, फायर, एयर मिक्स हो जाता है ना, वो चेतना हो जाता है। दैट केमिकल एक्ट्स, इट फंक्शंस। और साइंटिस्ट इसी तरह से एक्सप्लेन करते हैं, कुछ अलग नहीं है। इट फंक्शंस मटेरियली, इट इज फंक्शनिंग। तो so as per the Charvak philosophy, there is only one life. Just like scientists point of view also, there is one life. जब तक जिंदा हो मजे करो, इसलिए पाप पुण्य, चारवाक also, पाप पुण्य कुछ नहीं। इंद्रिय तृप्ति करो, एंजॉय। वो चारवाक फिलोसफी था, बहुत फेमस हो गया क्योंकि अच्छा लगा सबको। और दूसरा है बुद्धिस्ट का क्या है, देखो कैसे कैसे डिफरेंस है। ये जो श्लोक है दोनों के लिए भी लागू होता है। क्योंकि उसमें भी बॉडी के अंत में कुछ नहीं रहता। और बुद्धिस्ट फिलोसफी क्या है? नो, सोल एंड बॉडी आर डिफरेंट। चार्वाक क्या बोलता है? वो चार एलिमेंट का बना के ही जो बनता है उसको ही आत्मा, वो आत्मा वो मैं हूं, वो शरीर हूं मैं हूं, वो शरीर आत्मा, दैट इज आइडेंटिटी, योर आइडेंटिटी। आत्मा कुछ अलग नहीं है। उससे ही कौन उससे ही उसके ही कॉम्बिनेशन से चेतना आता है। बट इन केस ऑफ बुद्धिस्ट, दे बिलीव ऑन सोल, कि सोल है क्या? हाँ है। आत्मा अलग है, शरीर अलग है। दे आर डिफरेंट, नॉट सेम लाइक चारवास। बट बोथ आत्मा एंड सोल, दे डाई एट द सेम टाइम। बोथ डाई। जब मृत्यु आता है तो आत्मा का भी मृत्यु होता है, वो भी शून्य हो जाता है, शरीर भी शून्य हो जाता है, सब शून्य हो जाता, कुछ नहीं रहता। ये बुद्धिस्ट फिलोसफी। दैट्स व्हाई इट इज, दे डोंट बिलीव ऑन सोल और शास्त्रा, दे डिनाई that they are atheistic philosophy. Buddhist philosophy is atheistic philosophy. The Charvak and Buddhist, both they reject reincarnation. कुछ नहीं है बाद में, मृत्यु के बाद। नो रीइंकारनेशन थ्योरी, कुछ कर्म वगैरह कुछ नहीं रहता, इसलिए मजे करो। तो इस तरह से ये फिलॉसफी बना। अभी कोई बोलेगा बुद्धिस्ट क्या फिलॉसफी है, किसी को भी नहीं पता चला बुद्धिस्ट क्या फिलॉसफी है। जितने बुद्धिस्ट प्रैक्टिशनर है उतना फिलॉसफी है नहीं। बहुत स्पेकुलेशन है उनके, इसमें कुछ पता ही नहीं चलता क्या है क्या। जितने प्रैक्टिशनर है उतनी फिलॉसफी है बुद्धिस्ट की। कितने पंथ है बुद्धि के, कितने, जितने मठ है उतने पंथ है उनके। हम्म हाँ, कोई बोलते वेजिटेरियन खाना चाहिए, कोई बोलता है फिश चलता है, कोई कोई बोलता है ऑमलेट चलता है, कोई बोलता है नहीं मुर्गी भी चलता है, कोई कुछ भी चलता है। हर एक आश्रम का अलग अलग तत्व है, फिलॉसफी भी चेंज हो जाता है, कुछ है ही नहीं वो। हाँ, तो so this verse is about these two philosopher. Okay, first we try to understood the philosophy क्या है, बाद में श्लोक समझ में आएगा। फिर बाद में सिर्फ एक लाइन वो कितना भी समझने का कोशिश, पहले फिलॉसफी समझा, चारवाक फिलॉसफी क्या है। कि भाई ये बॉडी ही आत्मा है। और बुद्धिस्ट फिलॉसफी आत्मा और शरीर दोनों अलग अलग है, मगर दोनों का साइमल्टेनियसली अंत होता है, बाद में सब कुछ मिट जाता है और उसके बाद कुछ नहीं रहता। पुनर्जन्म दोनों में भी दे डिनाई एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ पुनर्जन्म, रीइंकार्नेशन दे रिजेक्ट। अभी इफ यू इवन एक्सेप्ट दैट फिलॉसफी कि सब कुछ खत्म होने वाला है ना, व्हाई यू आर लैमेंटिंग? उसमें क्यों शोक करना है? दिस इज व्हाट आर्ग्यूमेंट। तथापि even if this philosophy, oh Arjuna, you are a Vedic follower, you will not accept this philosophy, but for the sake of argument, even if you accept that philosophy, even from that philosophy point of view, you should not lament. There is no cause of any lamentation for you. Yeah, and so that's why atachainam nitya jatam. Nitya jatam means it is always born. That means it created. Soul is created at the time of birth. It was not existing before. What as existed, Buddhist philosophy लेता है नित्य, जैसे जैसे जहां 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 पे शरीर जन्म ले रहा है, वहां पे सोल जन्म लिया, ये नया सोल जन्म लिया, वो नया सोल जन्म लिया शरीर के साथ। सोल अलग है, शरीर अलग है उसका, वो मानते हैं, मगर सोल भी जन्म लिया। अथ च एनम नित्य जातम, नित्यम वह मरने से मृतम, और बाद में वो मरता रहता है, जन्म लेता है, मरते रहता है, सब कुछ खत्म होता है ना, उसके में क्या लेमेंटेशन करना? Okay, any question about this? We will read first. Many answers you will get. If at all, then you have any doubt, then Baladev.
Having given his own opinion on why one should lament for the soul, the Lord now speaks of the opinion of others in order to give other viewpoints.
As per his opinion, he is telling soul exists. Till now 25 वो मेरा फिलॉसफी है, मगर यहाँ पे बोले कि दूसरे भी है भाई जो ऐसा बोलते हैं। अथच एनम मोर ओवर अदर सेज, बेसिकली उनका मानना है, मान्य से उनका मानना भी है ऐसा है। तो वो भी बता रहे हैं इसका क्या मानना है, उसका क्या मानना है, सबका मत भी बता रहे हैं। कृष्ण ने अभी तक अपना अपना मत तो बताया, जो शास्त्रवित है, शास्त्र को पकड़ के है, गुरु साधु शास्त्र के अनुसार है। अभी गुरु साधु शास्त्र के विपरीत जो मतांतर है ना, उनको भी साथ में लेके जा रहे हैं कृष्ण। वो बोले ये भी फिलॉसफी एग्जिस्ट है भाई, इवन इफ यू फील दैट फिलॉसफी इज राइट, क्यों लैमेंट कर रहे हो? दिस इज व्हाट, व्हाई यू आर लैमेंटिंग? The student, knowing these viewpoints,
And knowing these viewpoints and consequently destroying them along with their contamination should remain fixed, victorious in the Lord's viewpoint.
Yeah, on the theory of Lokaitas, Charvak philosophy.
Endowed with a body such as human form, composed of the four elements, consciousness arises from that, just as the red color arises from betel nut.
Okay, same. फोर एलिमेंट से कॉन्शियसनेस क्रिएशन होता है, वही आत्मा है, उसको ही आत्मा बोलते हैं। दूसरा कुछ नहीं है। आत्मा यानी क्या? यही चार का कॉम्बिनेशन, जिससे कॉन्शियसनेस आया। जस्ट लाइक red color comes from betel nut. The body,
that body made of four elements is itself the Atma.
बस ये उसका पिला। Then
this body is real and is subject to appearance and disappearance because of its nature of constant change, and this is known by regular perception.
अभी दिख रहा है नित्य जातम मनुष्य मृतम, अभिनष्ट हो रहा है। यहाँ पे ये शरीर सब कुछ है, वही आत्मा है। अभी यहाँ पर वो जन्म लिया है माँ के गर्भ से, हाँ, अभी चेतना आया है। जब तक वो चार एलिमेंट काम करेंगे तब तक वो रहेगा, बाद में मर जाएंगे तो वो एलिमेंट डिसमेंटल हो जाएंगे, बस वो एलिमेंट डिसमेंटल हो जाएंगे, उसको मृत्यु बोलते हैं। बाद में कुछ खत्म, कुछ नहीं रहता, आत्मा वगैरह पुनर्जन्म खत्म हो जाता है। सब मिट्टी में आया था, तू मिट्टी से आया था, मिट्टी में जाएगा, बोलते हैं ना लोग। हाँ, मिट्टी में मिल मिल जाएगा। हाँ, मिल मिट्टी में मिल गए। ओके। हाँ, नो इट्स गोइंग ऑन। अच्छा, पावर हैज गॉन। हाँ, पावर हैज गॉन, यू कैन स्विच ऑफ दोस लाइट। हाँ, प्रभु कंटिन्यू।
And endowed with the body such
हाँ,
it's
that
it's
that
it's
done.
it's over.
His body is real, so appearance and disappearance. Next theory of now Vaibhasikas, Buddhist philosophy.
The Buddhists, such as the Vaibhashikas, maintain that the Atma is Vijnana Swarupa,
हाँ,
different from the body, but is still subject to destruction at every moment.
हाँ,
In both these philosophies, there should be no lamentation for the Atma.
yeah.
If you cannot understand my words about the nature of the soul, then you can take the support of other doctrines, such as that of the Lokayatas. In this philosophy, which claims that the body is the Atma, you consider that this self, the body, is continually born and continually dies.
As per the Lokayita, that means Charvaka. Huh? And as per the Buddha, Vaibhasika, the Atma is Vijnana Swarupa, different from the body. Atma is Vijnana Swarupa, different from the body, but it's still subject to destruction. They say at every moment and at the time of death also. Kaumaram Yauvanam Jara, it is destroying, and Tatha Dehantara Prapti Dhira Satra Namuhyati, same philosophy. तथा देहांतर प्राप्ति वो नहीं है, उधर उधर गड़बड़ी हो जाता है। अगेन दे एक्सेप्ट न्यू बॉडी, यहां पे गड़बड़ है। ओके, theory of Vaibhasika, continue.
Therefore, you should not lament for this self body, which with such words as, Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts. Driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen. Bhagavad Gita 144.
So do not lament like this that you will get sin, because there is no sin. You should worry about this sin if you are going to get body in future and again live forever. But you are not living forever. So why you lament about your sinful reaction? Next.
This is because in these two philosophies there is no fear of sin continuing into next life.
भस्मीभूतस्य देहस्य नो कुतः पुनरागमनो न भवेत्. Then why you lament? There is no sinful reaction. So you behave the way you just enjoy this life.
Since there is no next birth and there is unavoidable creation and destruction of the cells, whose very nature is change.
Okay. The
Lord then addressed Arjuna with a mocking tone. O mighty armed one, you being the best of the warriors following Vedic tradition
should not hold
such wrong views.
But okay, from that point of it is there, but Arjuna, it's not for you. Huh? I'm just telling, even from that point of view, their philosophy point of view, also there is no lamentation, but that doesn't hold true for you, that philosophy. Okay, done? Any doubt? Because time, place, and circumstances need to save. One is worst, and other is better than that, but they're not the best. Hmm? Okay. Worst is what? Misusing the Vedas. They call Vedic followers. They call themselves as Vedic followers, but they misuse the Veda. It is worse than calling, I don't believe in the Veda. Okay. Misusing Veda is worse than not to be part follower of the Veda. I will give an example. Being a part of Krishna's family is glorious. Yadu. But being a part of the Krishna's family and dishonoring the Vaishnava and sadhus, committing an offense is worst. And that's why Krishna destroyed whole Yadu dynasty, knowing that in future they will keep on committing such an offense and they are very powerful. And I came to establish Dharma, I established, but my own people, they are so strong. If I just go to the spiritual world, leaving them behind here, they will trample the whole world, either in separation of me or we are Yaduts, we are Krishna's family. And they are very powerful. They are the greatest obstruction in my mission. So while winding up, I will wind up them also. I will take them with me. They should not remain behind. Krishna took them with him. Worst. So the Veda followers are worse if they misuse the Veda. Those who says that I am Gaudiya, but they Prakrut Sahajiyas, immaturely imitate Bhava and Prema stage, and sometimes even proclaim that I am an incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are more worse than Mayavadi. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, that's why I write in the purport. Morning I was mentioning that it is by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he flooded the whole world with impersonalism and Mayavad, so that they will defeat this Sakibeki and all those and destroy. Kaate se kaata nikalna. But he also spoke against Mayavad. Mayavad Bhash. Hey, sir. But more worse than the Mayavad is, because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, these Apasampradayas were not present. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these Apasampradaya came, and they are worse than Mayavad, because they claim Gaudiya. Kripalu Maharaj. And so on. Those who claim that I am incarnation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Many came, Apasampradaya. They claim that I am Mahaprabhu. They are worse than the Mayavadi. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes the purport, which is mentioned by in the 11th canto purports, last purport of first chapter. So this such kind of things are there. Vedic followers. That's why Buddha is better. Buddhists are much better, those who promote ahimsa and they stop the unnecessary killing of animal in sacrifices, which the so-called Vedic followers are doing for the sake of filling their belly, not uplifting that soul. So that is worse. That is misusing the Vedas for sense gratification. Rather than you misusing the Vedas for the sense gratification, better I will come and promote ahimsa, and to promote ahimsa I will say don't follow Veda, just to bring them to the level of sanity. Okay, and then again I will establish the Veda at appropriate time. Shankaracharya with Advaiti philosophy to establish. Then slowly there is a evolution of philosophy. In the history of the philosophy, there is a slowly evolution in the philosophy. Hmm? Is that it? Okay. So that's why it's one of the incarnation of Krishna to whom we don't worship. Only one incarnation we don't worship, Buddha. Why? Because he reject Veda. And whoever reject Veda, we don't worship. He may be incarnation of even Krishna, the Shavatar. But we don't worship because he reject Veda. Because those who reject Veda, Vedana manila hoy Nastika. One who don't accept Veda, they are Nastik, including Buddha and his philosophy, and his followers. Okay. $27. Yeah, yes, Professor. Jain, they're false imitator. They're simply Jain religion started by the Vaishya community, being envious of Brahmana community. And fault of Brahmana not accommodating Vaishya. And then they started their own religion. And they made Rishabhadev as first Tirthankar. Their religion's first Tirthankar, Rishabhadev. But which Rishabhadev? Which Rishabhadev? Not the father of Bharat Maharaj Rishabhadev, but another imitator Rishabhadev who imitated Rishabhadev, real Rishabhadev, Digambar. So there that became first Tirthankar, and from there their perverted religion started. Perverted religion, which all their language, their Devta's name, everything is from Vedas only. They also have Jaya Vijay. And they promoted again Ahimsa, Paramo Dharma hai. And they have their own philosophy, which is speculation, mental speculation, not based on Shastra. So they have their own Shastra, Jain philosophy. All these Tirthankar, one by one, they promoted that philosophy. So it is not promoted by incarnation of God, Rishabdev. If it whatever comes from the incarnation of God, not always it is truth. In case of Buddha, but Rishabdev teachings are different, and this perverted Rishabdev's teaching is different. Then Mahavir Tirthankar comes. He does the revolution in that philosophy. 25th Tirthankar. Then after that, many Tirthankars are coming. Just like in the Shri Sampradaya, there are Alvaras. So in the Jain religion, they have Tirthankars. In first 10 years, 15 years, I was practicing Jainism only. And chanting daily those mantras, because I studied in Jain school in the beginning. So being a part of school which is birthplace of the world Acharya of Jain Sampradaya, Anand Rishiji Maharaj. So I know about it, Jain philosophy a little bit, and practices also. So they emphasize more on austerity, tapasya. Kaivalya Jnana, Nirvishesha, liberation. So Om Loch, Om Arihantanam, Om Lo Sadhunam, all those mantras are there. Many. Om only comes. Basic Om is there, which is Vedic mantra Om, but all perverted. Calling Krishna because he is a part of the killing. The Kurukshetra war is the cause. That's why he will go to Naraka. He will go to hell. So that kind of conclusions they have come up with. Openly, they don't teach this thing in front of Hindus, but this is what they have in there. But as far as their lifestyle goes, very pure, very sattvic, very sattvic. Chaturmas they follow the way we follow Chaturmas. They also follow Chaturmas. Same. Almost it is like a perverted Vedic religion. Something perverted Vedic religion. Not like Buddhists. Buddhists are far away. They rejected Veda. But Jainism, they accepted perverted Veda, speculated Veda, interpreted Veda. Veda is there, they interpreted. Jai Vijay, they will call different name. Lakshmi, Devi is there, they will call different name. They have also their demigods. Everything is there, name different. Indra is different. It's all speculated. They don't want to accept as it is Veda. And impersonal liberation is the ultimate. Austerities. They also have sadhus, maharajas, santa. All terms are same. Sadhavi, sadhu. Yeah, both are there. Ladies also can become sannyasi. They call sadhavi. So all the Hare Krishna. हाँ. Huh? Yeah, they don't. Mm-hmm. Earth. Don't harm the tree because you have to uproot. Maybe I don't remember that reason. But the other things are there, like they put while talking also the jivanus should not be killed. बहुत कम. और वो भी उबला हुआ फिल्टर किया हुआ उबला हुआ ही खाते हैं. खाने में भी मसाला नहीं, कुछ नहीं, कुछ नहीं, सब उबला उबला. और नहाते कैसे है? कपड़ा गीला करके गर्म पानी में जो भी है उससे से नहाते हैं. शेविंग भी नहीं करते. शेविंग नहीं करते, खींचते हैं बाल. and you have to tolerate that, then only. तो किसको वो साधु साध्वी बनाते हैं? खींचने के बाद भी आंसू नहीं आना चाहिए, उसको दीक्षा देते हैं. उतना सहन शक्ति होना चाहिए. और बाद में सब जगह पे बिना चप्पल के चलना है और हमेशा भ्रमण करते रहना है, एक जगह पे नहीं रहना है. भ्रमण करते रहना है और प्रवचन करते रहना है. और चातुर्मास उनका भाव, चातुर्मास की तपस्या तो हरि बोल. बहुत तीव्र रहती उनकी तपस्या. हम हर साल एक दिन आनंद ऋषि महाराज का जन्मदिन पे वो निर्जला फास्टिंग करते थे. वहां पर निर्जला का आदत हाल हाल हो जाता था एक दिन. निर्जला सबको कंपलसरी था ऑलमोस्ट. कोई एक दिन करता, कोई 2 दिन करता, कोई 5 दिन का निर्जला करता, कोई 11 दिन का निर्जला करता। निर्जला अलग अलग स्तर के निर्जला करते। बहुत तपस्या का जीवन, ताकि शरीर को पूरा निग्लेक्ट हो जाए, आप शरीर के आत्मा के स्तर पर रहो। शरीर की जरूरत कम करो। दे विल नॉट ट्रैवल, they will never cross ocean. There is no Jainism spread out. That's good news. हाँ, ओके। हरे कृष्ण। मगर इतना है कि वो उनके धर्म में बोला है कुछ तो 50% देना। जो भी अर्न करते हैं ना, वो बहुत दान करते हैं, क्योंकि वो उनका वो धंधा करना है ना, तो इसलिए उनके बहुत मठ है। यानी हर जगह जाते, हर गांव में मंदिर रहते, जैन मंदिर हमेशा मार्बल के बने बने बहुत मंदिर है। जैन मंदिर खाली रहते हैं। ऐसे साधु जब आ जाते हैं तो वहां पे हर गांव में होना चाहिए। तो हर जगह पे उनके स्थानक है, स्थानक बोलते हो, स्थानक। जैन स्थानक। तो क्योंकि वो हर एक को, हर कोई दान करता है, दान बहुत करते हो जैन लोग, बहुत अफाट। और हाँ, और ज्यादातर वैश्य कम्युनिटी हो सारा। हम्म, हरे कृष्णा। पारसनाथ आपके उधर है ना? हम्म। हम्म, हाँ ना। व्हाइट मार्बल से ज्यादातर सारे मंदिर उनके, राजस्थान का व्हाइट मार्बल है। हाँ। आ महावीर का फोटो, आचार्य का फोटो, जो अभी जो उनके आचार्य रहते हैं वो फोटो रहता है, डीटीज। हाँ। बाहुबली। हाँ। हाँ, वही है वो, वही है वो, उनके तीर्थंकार। वो अंतिम तीर्थंकार है, लास्ट तीर्थंकार ऐसा कुछ तो। कोई राजा था वो, बना बाहुबली बाद में, लास्ट तीर्थंकार है उनके। दिगंबर पंथ है, श्वेतांबर पंथ है, उसमें भी भेद है। दो फिलोसफी आता है, श्वेतांबर एंड दिगंबर। श्वेत अंबर यानी श्वेत कपड़ा पहनते, दिक अंबर यानी दिशाई अंबर है। ऐसे भी है। हरे कृष्ण। हाँ, कौन सा श्लोक हुआ हमारा? 26 में अटक गए। अच्छा, तो 27 देख लेंगे कल। हाँ, कल नहीं, नेक्स्ट टाइम से। आज कम से कम 28-30 तक जाना था। चलिए। हाँ। हाँ, तो अभी वो एक और एक अपसंप्रदाय। हाँ। हम्म।